Today's topic of discussion is marriage market value. So MMV stands for marriage market value. So I'm seeing a lot of information on the internet related to the relationship side of it. So this red pill community, they're gaining a lot of popularity amongst youngsters, and they think that this is the correct information. And this supposedly SMV, the higher SMV you have, the higher of value you are in society. This is complete nonsense, and this so-called high value man SMV is complete garbage. So we're going to be discussing how this is actually the correct term to use, marriage market value, and we're going to be discussing how you can effectively stand out from all these other clowns in society who are following this stupid ideology. So first point is mentally. So what it is right, in the communities, these red pill jokers, right, they claim to be so-called high value. So you need to improve mentally. So mentally, to improve mentally, right, firstly, you need to be competent at your area and your field. So whatever area that you are working on. So let's say you're working on your purpose and you are a, let's say, doctor. You're somebody who's a doctor, right? Whatever profession that you're doing, whether it's a doctor, lawyer, or whatever case is, you need to be constantly striving towards becoming a better individual in that field. So you're constantly mentally improving. And then with that, right, that's going to allow you to stand out from all the other people who are in your industry. And that's related to your purpose side of it. But in general as well, when it comes to improving mentally, to improve mentally, you need the guidance from God. So God is going to be able to help you learn the correct information and to unlearn the incorrect information. So there's a lot of incorrect information, there's a lot of wrong information in society. So the only way to really improve mentally and excel in a lot of areas mentally is to focus on things such as communication skills. So you as a person, you need to be constantly leveling yourself up and constantly improving your communication and constantly improving how your thought process is thinking. So you're able to convey your messages across the world, and in that way there you're able to constantly strive towards becoming a better individual. So you are always improving your knowledge in all areas of life, and with that, right, you're going to be improving yourself. The problem is, right, in society, a lot of guys, they become so weak, right, where they, as soon as they leave the school system, right, they stop learning, and then they stop self-developing, and they stop reading books. They stop listening to audiobooks, and they just literally just get a job, and then they just continue working that job for the next 30, 40 years or so. That person there, how is he able to actually grow as an individual and actually become a better individual? He's not going to be able to do that, unfortunately, because he's somebody who has neglected his mental side of it. So as a mental side of it, you need to be improving yourself mentally in all areas of life. So then that way there, you are becoming more well-rounded in all areas of life. So that's really important. Next point is physically. So you as a person, right, you need to be constantly developing yourself. So physically, you need to be working out, you need to be training, you need to be exercising, and it's not for, showing other people. So let's say you do go to the gym, right? It shouldn't be right where you're going to the gym and you're trying to get all these muscles and you're just trying to flex and you're trying to get, oh yeah, if I flex with these muscles, that women are going to be attracted to me. It doesn't work like that. So you need to effectively train, but then at the same time as well, you need to learn, let's say, a skill set related to fighting. So if you've been doing, let's say, boxing or, some sort of martial arts or some sort of combat training, you're somebody who can physically protect yourself and protect your partner. So that's going to be really important. So then women are attracted to, for example, fighters. So, all these UFC fighters, all these boxers, women are really attracted to that because they know full well, right, if there's some sort of altercation, some sort of physical altercation, she's confident that her husband is going to be able to protect her in that situation. A lot of these guys, right, they're bent out of shape, They are people who are just lazy, people who are not able to perform, whether it's, in the bedroom side of it or, in relationships in general. They are bent out of shape, and then they expect their partner to be looking attractive. It doesn't work like that. If you want an attractive woman, you need to become an attractive guy yourself. And one of them is physicality. Physicality is really important. So you need to be constantly leveling yourself up in all areas of life. So when it comes to your physicality of it, you need to become the strongest version of yourself, and you need to become that version of yourself where you're always hitting the next level. So then that way there, right, if there's some sort of altercation that does take place, you know full well that you have the confidence within yourself that you've got the physicality to be able to deal with the situation. So that's really important. People end up just neglecting the physicality and think that it doesn't matter. It matters a lot in society, especially in today's day and age as well. The way things are going, how a lot of these beta males are going around with all this emotional outbursts. That's what they're having. So a lot of these guys are, for example, shooting people, stabbing people, and so on. But you as a person, you need to be physically strong. So then if there is some sort of altercation and you have to defend yourself, it's important that you're in the best physical shape. I'm not saying that you need to be the flipping Mr. Olympia and be the biggest guy out there, but you need to keep yourself somewhat fit. So then that way there, if a situation does happen, you're able to deal with it accordingly. So that's really important. And then the next point is emotionally. So emotionally intelligent. To be emotionally intelligent, you need to be somebody who is constantly leveling himself up in his communication skills, how he's able to deal with relationships on a day-to-day basis, so men and women. He needs to be able to know, okay, if this person here is disrespecting me, I need to remove myself from that person. And I need to be emotionally intelligent to know that if this person is trying to trigger me into trigger my emotions and to try and get me angry, guess what? I'm not going to give him that power. I know within myself I've got that power to control myself. And that's what it is. That's what guys who are emotionally intelligent, they're able to control themselves. The problem is guys in society, they're going to prison, they're doing all these kind of things, right? They're doing activities, right, which are counteractive. Those people there are not emotionally intelligent. These guys have had an outburst, and then let's say they've ended up stabbing someone or killing someone or whatever the case is. These type of people here, they're not emotionally intelligent. You as a person, right, you need to be constantly leveling yourself up in all areas of life. So emotional intelligence is going to be able to attract not only multiple women, but all people in society. So when they see that this guy here, right, is mentally stable, he's physically strong, he's emotionally intelligent, it becomes really difficult to try and penetrate that guy and try and take him off center and to take him off track and to take him off his purpose, because this guy here is in control of himself and he's been working on himself on a day-to-day basis. So that's really important, guys. You need to be excelling emotionally as well, because people tend to neglect it. They work on, let's say, the mental game, they work on the physical game. But for example, if somebody ends up triggering them or triggers them to based off of what they've said something, and then this guy here gets emotionally triggered from that, that's a big problem, and you're gonna expose yourself to risk, and you're gonna be exposing yourself to unnecessary danger. So that's really important. And then the final point is spiritually. So spiritually, this side of it is neglected in pretty much all the content videos that you're seeing online related to these red pill dogs and these jokers. These guys here are just fornicating with low quality women, and then they think that they are men of value. Those kind of guys here are low value. Low value in the eyes of God. That's what it is. The only opinion that matters is God. So God has laid out all the laws in society. So these guys here think that, we can just neglect spirituality, and if we improve mentally, physically, emotionally, that we're going to be able to somehow get all these high quality women. It doesn't work like that, because you're neglecting, let's say, spirituality. So that means you're going to be controlled by your desires and your temptations, and that's going to lead you down the rabbit hole of fornication. So the fornication, That right there is a never ending. It's like a never ending hedonism, yeah, where you are constantly trying to chase after desires, trying to fulfill your pleasures, and it's you're never gonna fulfill that. You're never gonna fulfill that. Fornication doesn't lead to fulfillment. These guys here, yeah, who are fornicating with these low quality women, ask them in 10, 20, 30 years down the line. You see where they are. These people here haven't got no loving relationships. Their wife don't respect them. That's if they end up getting married, which they don't anyway. Their girlfriend don't respect them. They end up having kids outside of marriage. These kids don't respect them, and then it just leads to just chaos. So you guys need to be working on your spirituality each and every single day, getting closer to God. So then that way there, God is rewarding you in all areas of life. And none of these things here matter. And none of these things here are going to be able to actually improve if you don't put God first. So spirituality comes number one in life. If you focus on God, right, and you listen to what God is telling you, you're going to be able to move correctly in all areas of life. The problem is, yeah, people have got it backwards. They're focused on, let's say, career or status or whatever nonsense that they are trying to do here, and then they've got God at the bottom of the list. This is problematic in the sense of you're not receiving the guidance from God. So God isn't giving you that guidance there, and then you're just going to be getting misled, and then you're just going to be going through further manipulation by society. So you see all these guys, right, and these red pill jokers, they're talking about, oh yeah, do not drink alcohol, do not take drugs and all these kind of things there, and do not sleep around with too many women and blah blah blah. None of these things, right, can be done without the help of God. Do you understand? So these guys here, yeah, they can claim they can, so-called be men of value, but let's actually put them to the test and actually get a woman who's an attractive woman, yeah, and you put them in front of him, and you see how he crumbles, how he's able to not control his desires. And then let's say he ends up having a relationship with her, that woman ends up losing the respect. So this is what it is. Respect needs to be as high as possible whenever you're dealing with a woman. Respect equals love. That's what it is, guys. So in a relationship, right, with a woman, if her respect goes down, her desire goes down. Do you understand? So they're both equally correlated, yeah? So when she's got a high amount of respect for you, when she knows that this guy here is not controlled by his desires, that becomes really attractive to a woman, because she knows full well, right, this guy here, yeah, if worst case scenario, something was to happen or whatever the case is, he is somebody who is strong within himself. So women look at the internal strength to know that he can go through trials and tribulations, and he can go through certain temptations, and he's not going to be put off track. He knows he's going to be on the straight path. And that right there is really attractive to women, because when they see that this guy here is really strong, internal strength is really strong. So spirituality is number one, guys. So that's really important. So just to wrap up, so marriage, market value, mentally, you need to be constantly improving yourself mentally. So reading, educating yourself, learning all areas of fields. So all fields that are related to improving. So in, let's say, your health, fitness, what other ones are there? Your career pathway, so whatever pathway your purpose is related to, you're constantly spending hours in that. You're somebody who is surrounding yourself with good quality people. That right there, you're getting ideas from them to effectively utilize, and you're constantly improving in that. And then you're just somebody who is always trying to challenge himself each and every single day. And then when you challenge yourself, guess what? You're going to be coming out of your comfort zone, and then you're going to be improving mentally. Next point after that was physically. So you need to be getting in the best possible shape that you can be. So spend as much time as you can, training, making sure your diet, your lifestyle and what you're eating is on point. Cut out all the processed foods, all the nonsense sugars. So all these sugars, right, all these disgusting processed sugars, they're all bad for your health. And these things here, right, are going to lead you to becoming physically weak. You want to cut out all of that, so then that way that you're becoming as physically strong as possible. So then you don't have excess weight on you, and you don't have all of this baggage. So this is what it is. A lot of these guys, right, if you look at these guys who are well overweight, it's just how do these guys operate on a day-to-day basis, and then they have all of that excess weight on them. they're not going to be able to function, are they? And they have low self-confidence and low self-esteem, because they're eating all them processed sugars. So physicality, and then alongside that, obviously learning how to fight as well, learning how to do some sort of combat sport. So then that way there, you are, if there's some sort of altercation that arises, you know full well that you have the confidence within yourself to be able to deal with that, because you've got experience of knowing how to fight. So that's really important. And then the next point after that was emotionally, so improving emotionally, so become as emotionally intelligent as possible. So that right there, right, when a woman tries to trigger you, let's say from the emotional game, she tries to trigger your emotions, right? You know full well, right, this woman here is trying to trigger you, and then you're going to take a step back, right, check the behavior, and then apply no contact. Because you can see it straight away. As soon as a woman's trying to, as they call it, shit testing, as soon as she's trying to shit test you, or she's trying to, test you, because it's what women do. All women will do these shit tests because they are optimizing the best possible partner that they can get their hands on. Women are survival creatures, and they go in to do this. So a lot of guys who are complaining, they're moaning, they're saying, oh yeah, why am I getting these women who are always testing me, this and that. Women are testing you is because they're optimizing the best possible partner, and they want to get the best possible partner. And then the more tests you pass, right, the more her desire and her love goes up for you, and her respect will go up. And then the two ways to pass it is, firstly, you check the behavior, and then if she's not compliant with that, then you just hit her with no contact, and you just carry on going and focus on your purpose. And that way there, you pretty much pass all the interest tests and all the shit tests. And then the final point was spiritually. So spiritually, right, putting God first, always. You're somebody who is excelling spiritually, so where your connection with God is number one, and that right there, yeah, is gonna affect all areas of your life, and when it comes to making correct decisions in day-to-day life. Because a lot of these guys, yeah, these jokers, yeah, these clowns in the red pill community, right, they may, let's say, get money, status, and all these kind of things there, and guess what happens? They make that one wrong decision, one bad decision, right, of going with a low quality promiscuous woman, and they end up fornicating with her, and guess what? She ends up becoming pregnant. Game over. That's it. She ends up taking him to court, trying to take fees from him, and then that's it for life. He's getting sucked. That's what all these guys do. These celebrities, these clowns, right, who are just fornicating with these women, and then they're not using, for example, contraception or anything like that, and then they end up getting a woman pregnant. And then when the woman gets pregnant, because he's been fornicating, guess what? He's gonna end up suffering afterwards. So that's that point. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.